Oh, would you look at that? It's time for another daily coding problem. I'm going to start my stopwatch. There we go. So we got up to an hour to finish this problem. Today's problem comes from LeetCode. As usual, we don't really care about performance unless the question says we should care about performance. Otherwise, our goal is just to get things working. So here's what we got for today. We don't know what company this was asked at. I just grabbed this from LeetCode's list of interview questions, and I'm just kind of working my way down it. Let's take a look. Write a function to find the longest common prefix string amongst an array of strings. If there is no common prefix, return an empty string. And then we have two examples. So this first example, we got 3 words: flower, flow, flight, and we return FL. Makes sense. The first two start with FLO, but then that goes away once we get to that third word there. And then example 2 is 3 words that have no common prefix. And so we return an empty string. Sweet. Well, I'm feeling good about this one already. So what I'm thinking about doing here is just walking through the list of input, one word at a time, and chopping down my prefix with each additional word as necessary. So for example, I'm going to set my prefix to flower, and then I'm going to go to the next word, and I'm going to chop off everything on the end that doesn't match. So I'm just going to walk through both words. And so in this case, I would chop off the WOR. Oh no, they both have flow in mind. So I would then chop off the E and the R. So then my prefix would be flow. And then once I get to flight, I would chop off the O and the W and return FL. And in the case of this one, I would set my prefix to dog. I get to the next word and the whole thing goes down the garbage, and then I just return early. So if we ever get to an empty string, we won't even bother looking at the rest because we already know we don't have a common prefix, right? So let's start with creating a test. And we're just going to use the test that they provide us because those are 2 good cases. So let's require mini test auto run. This is what we're going to use to run our tests. We get it for free. And then mini test pride. This gives us color in our output. Totally not necessary, but I think it's necessary. I love colors. And then of course we want to include our solution that we're going to be testing. And let's describe what we want that to look like. So we have largest prefix, common prefix maybe would be a decent name. Sure, let's call it that. And then we have a README here, which has our examples in it. Let's grab those. There we go. Perfect. And let's add our it block. It returns the longest common prefix for all the words. Excellent. And now we'll move these up into our block. Let's get rid of some of this extra text. There we go. And now we're going to use our fancy Vim macros here to turn these examples into a test. So I'm going to press QQ to start recording. I'm going to go to the beginning of the line, and then I'm going to delete the extra stuff we have here. There we go. And let's pass this into solution. So we have solution.common prefix. We have our words. That looks good. We'll close this up. Now we'll take our output. We'll move it above, clear out the extra stuff, and then we'll write our assertion. Then we'll select both of these, adjust the tabbing, and that's the end of our macro. So now I should be able to run it. Ta-da! Sweet. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why Vim's awesome. Okay, so we have our 2 tests. Let's run it. We know it's going to fail. Excellent. Before we move on, though, I'm just going to fix something that bothers me, and that is we've got double quotes here, and I don't like using double quotes unless I need to. So let's use single quotes, because double quotes let you interpolate, and we don't need to do that right now. Okay, so we've moved it to single quotes. One other thing I'm going to do is change this into a string array rather than having to do all the commas and the whatevers. You'll see what I mean. So there we go. String array. There we go. Totally unnecessary. Okay, that looks better. That looks better to my eyeballs. Let's do the same down here. We'll get rid of some stuff now that we don't need it. Perfect. Get rid of this. Great. Get rid of that. Great. Okay. Okay. We'll run it again. It fails. Perfect. Let's create our solution. Here it is. And we'll go ahead and jump the gun and create our method we're testing as well. And we know it's going to take some words, and those are required. So what do we got now? We expected FL and we got back nil. Perfect. Great. Now we got to actually think about writing code. We already talked about what we want to do here, so let's write the code to do that. So I'm going to start by creating a prefix. And we'll go ahead and make this the first word. And then we got to remember to return that at the end, right? I'm just going to type that now so I don't forget. Now, actually, let's see. If we do this, we don't have to iterate through it anymore, right? So let's go ahead and just grab the first word and take it off of the array, which is either going to be pop or unshift. I always forget which it is. It technically doesn't matter here because order of the words doesn't matter. But I like the idea of shift, so we'll take the first word just to make sure that we'll remove it from the array forever, right? So we've got A equals 1, 2, 3. We do A.shift. That's going to return the first element, and now A doesn't have the first element anymore. So that means we can do words.shift. Now we've got the first word, and then we'll go through the rest of the words. And now we need to find the common prefix between prefix, which we have here, and word. And so I suppose one way to do this would be to just walk through each of them at the same time. And while they match, keep going, right? So let's try that. So we have a word. A word has chars. Our prefix has chars. Right? But it might be better just to use an index here, which we can do with chars, right? So let's do I equals 0. And then we'll grab these here. There we go. There we go. We may clean this up in a moment, but let's get this working. So while I is less than all of the chars, right? And I is less than all of the chars in our word. So we only want to keep going while we still have characters in either our prefix or our word. prefix. Oh, wait, let's make this empty. Let's make this an array. Prefix dot push. I'm actually thinking about doing something different. Okay, wait, let's do this first. But what I'm thinking about is instead of doing this I is less than prefix chars.size, I'll just do prefix of chars I. And that would be nil if it's out of range, right? So let's do 1, 2 of 3. Yeah. I'm going to remember to increment my I here. There we go. I'm just going to make that change now. So we'll grab two characters, A and B. Right? So while we have a prefix character and while we have a word character, prefix.push, and actually we don't even need, oh yeah, we do. Prefix.push A if A equals B. So if they're equal, we'll add it. Right? If they're not equal, then we'll get the heck out of this loop. And then we increment. Right? And now we have a prefix with a bunch of characters in it. And we can join that together into one string. And if that string is empty, if that prefix is empty, then we don't even need to check any other words now. We can just return our empty string. Otherwise, we'll take our array of characters, join it back into a string, and try again. We'll keep doing this over and over and over again. And now that I think about it, we don't need to keep joining and unjoining this string over and over again, right? We can just do our prefix is going to be an array of characters. And at the very end, we can join it together. And now this can go away. This can go away. We'll call this new prefix. Okay, I like where this is going. And actually, word, we'll just overwrite that. Look at us go. Look at us go. We still haven't actually tested to see if this works, but you know, hey, we're risk takers. So while we have a match, we'll add it to our new prefix. If we don't have a match, go ahead and get out of here. We're done. Otherwise, we'll keep going until we run out of characters. If our new prefix is empty, then we'll go ahead and return an empty string. If it's not empty, our prefix equals our new prefix. I'm doing this just because this seems a little bit more readable to me. Okay, we're bound to have a mistake in here, but let's go ahead and run it. Expected FL, actual is flig. Okay, that was certainly unexpected. We'll walk through it in a second, but let me see if I see any obvious mistakes that we made. So it's finding this whole bit here at the end. So if A equals B, new prefix dot pushy else. I wonder if this break is behaving as I expect here. I'm not sure. Let's do some debugging, huh? This is the fun part. We got time. We're almost done, I feel like. We're only 15 minutes in. I got 45 more minutes I could work on this thing. Okay, let's see. Let's put a break in here. Seems like a good spot. So while we're matching characters, we're building up our prefix. We'll also put a break right above this while loop. And I'm also going to stick one down here so I can see what we ended up with. And let's go ahead and run this, see what we got. So our first word is FL. First off, let me see if I can get rid of this search highlighting. Hold on. It's going to drive me nuts. Okay, run it again. Okay, good. Now our double quotes aren't highlighted anymore. Okay, so our word is flow. Great. Our words are flow and flight. Right, because we've removed the first one. Our prefix is flower. Okay, that seems good to me. Now we're inside of our while loop. We should have next prefix. Oh no, this is the wrong new prefix. New prefix is F. L. Okay, okay. Flow. Okay, excellent. And our word is flow. And our old prefix is flower. So we should get out of here now, right? Excellent. New prefix is flow. That's what we expected. New prefix is not empty, right? Excellent. Now prefix equals new prefix. What is our old prefix? Flower. Okay, let's double check our prefix has been updated. Great. And what's our word? Flight. So this is where we got messed up last time. I might just be returning the wrong thing. Let's head inside. Let's skip a few. Let's look at our new prefix. Flig. Okay, that was unexpected. So let's hop up here. Moving it up to the top here. I'm going to check that comparison. So this is our first word. We don't care about this one. That seems to be working okay. Here's our second one. Okay, flight. And now we're not in the loop yet. Let's go to our next one. A and B. Okay. A and B. Okay. A and B. Okay. Oh. I wonder if this is just a case of parentheses here. Me trying to be clever with this assignment. I think it's grabbing word of I at the end there. I'm going to remove all my bindings. Nice. Well, that was a silly mistake. Boy, I should have added those in the first place, huh? Okay, well, everything passes. I think we did a good job. Let's see if we can clean this up a little bit. I'll remove my debugger. And is there any part of this that's not super readable? This can probably be made into a ternary pretty easily, and it won't look horrible, right? So if we have A equals B, stick a little thingy. There we go. Break it up. Break. Let's run this, make sure it works. There we go. That seems good. And how does this look as a ternary? New prefix dot empty. Return that. Otherwise, do that. Sure. It's not the worst, but the return's going to blow up unless I put it in parentheses, which means it will look bad. So let's remove it. Okay. Prefix.join seems good. Yeah, this seems... I'm okay with this. I think it's fine. It's readable. Let's see if we can add another test case in here. So something that comes to mind because we're iterating and we're grabbing the first. Let's try just passing in an empty words array. I would expect this to also return an empty string. Let's see what happens. Yep, undefined method chars for nil class, right? It's already a word. It's already a word. That'll convert it to an empty string. Okay, great. So we added that 2s on there. So if words.shift returns nil, then it gets converted to an empty string. Then we call chars on that. Okay, what other test case can we add? Let's just add one more test case. So this, see in this one, they all have a, well, yeah, let's add one more where two words do have a common substring, but the third one doesn't, because I don't really see anything like that. Here they all match. Here none of them match. So let's maybe add, we can leave, let's change this to DO, or just D. Let's make it one character. We don't have one with one character. And I'll make this dog, fat, and dart. Okay, so now we still expect this to be an empty string, but we have two that actually do match. So I just want to make sure that this works as well. Okay, great. I think we're good. Let's throw this into a commit. What do we got? We got our solution. Good. We removed all our binding prize. We got our test. We got some nice test cases. This adds solution for today, which is the 12th. And then we'll push that up. Great. Now I'm battling with my microphone. Cool. Well, that's it for today. Thanks for joining me. Do another one of these tomorrow, probably from dailycodingproblem.com. They sent some emails. I haven't got that email yet today, so we weren't able to use that. But yeah, probably from there. Thanks again. See you tomorrow. Bye.